Good evening, everybody. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day. So, as you all know, this Tuesday's election day. In fact, it's an off year election day. Basically, Virginia and New Jersey are having their gubernatorial elections. But before I get into that, I just want to thank all of you for joining taking your time to view my channel. This is my first video. It's called Election Projection. I try to report basically what I believe the election results are going to be, or at least try to project what the election results are going to be. And I have some left. I lean towards the left on some issues, but also lean towards the right on some other issues. So I'm basically your straight up independent swing voter. But at the same time, though I might feel biased towards some of the candidates, whether I like them or not, I'm also a realist as well. So I try to keep it as real as possible. So I'm not on team red or team blue. So if you're looking for that, I'm sorry about that. But other than that, I just like to discuss about this upcoming election. And the title says, that I believe that the Republican Party in Virginia, they're going to win this race, and not only that, they're going to sweep all the offices and win back control of the legislative branch. So, in other words, a red wave is going to hit the Old Dominion state, like 2009. In fact, so basically, as we all know, Terry McAuliffe and Glenn Youngkin, they're locked in a tight battle, well, in a tight race actually, and the polls are showing them. Well, the latest poll is showing that McAuliffe is leading by 1 percentage points. And that's actually very poor considering that in the past, you could say 10 to 12 years, the state has swung towards the Democrats. In fact, Joe Biden won this race by 10 percentage points last year. So, and I also think that they're undercounting the Republican support. I think that I predict that Glenn Youngkin, he's going to win by 5 percentage points. So he might get 52 to 53% of the vote. And also Terry McAuliffe, with some of his comments that he said about parents should have no say in their kids' education, has rubbed a lot of parents the wrong way. And trust me, you don't want to mess with the parents. That's why, especially another issues that are facing are the CRT, what's happening in Loudoun County, such as what's going on in the school boards. I mean, a lot of people are paying attention, very concerned with what's happening. And in addition, another thing that's another thing that's rolling towards why the Republicans have the advantage is Joe Biden is now unpopular. I think he has, well, nationwide, he has a 38% support approval rating. That's the second low. That's actually the lowest for any Democratic president since World War II. So, well, I mean, that's a whole new low. Hopefully, let's see what happens in the future. I don't think his approval rating is going to get any higher than. I think it's not going to get any better, unfortunately. I try to be an optimistic guy, but like I said, I'm a realist. So getting on to the Virginia's race. So basically, Terry McAuliffe has a lot of headwinds against him. And also, Glenn Youngkin, he has a lot of things going towards him. He does not come off as in fact, he's actually a good mold for the Virginia electorate, which tends to be suburban and more moderate. So he's going to pick up. So reason I say that he might win is because he's going to run strong in the southwestern area of Virginia, especially in the Shenandoah Valley and some of the rural areas. But he's also going to pick up support in the Virginia Beach area, the Tidewater region. And in fact, Virginia Beach actually is your swing region. In fact, it voted for Joe Biden last year, but in 2016, Virginia Beach voted for Donald Trump. So Virginia Beach tends to lean slightly towards the Republicans, but I think the Republicans have a bigger advantage. And another thing is the energy is with the Republican Party this time. I mean, you look at the Twitter handles, it's like McAuliffe, he's stumbling all over the place. Glenn Youngkin, on the other hand, people are rallying towards his cause. You know, even parents are siding with Glenn Youngkin, and he seems to have, whether you agree with him or disagree with him, he does seem to have a plan on what he wants to do to Virginia, such as cutting I believe it was the grocery tax, as well as banning CRT. So those are some hot button issue. The CRT one's a hot button issue, whereas McAuliffe has pretty much flip flop on the thing. In fact, went as far as calling, saying that, oh yeah, we don't even teach these things in our schools, so you can't make a fool out of the electorate. But other than the governor's race, another thing that we're missing out, well, another thing that is less talked about is the lieutenant governor's race. Basically, it's between Hala Alaya and Vincent Sears. Now Winsome Sears has been hammering Hala Alaya in a campaign ad saying that she took donations from Dominion, which I believe is the energy company in Virginia. I don't live in Virginia. I did live in DC for a year and a half, but that was like 5 or 6 years ago. So it's been a while since. So, so it's been a while. So basically, Hala Alaya, when she first got elected, she says, "I would not accept any money, campaign donations from Dominion." But towards, I think during her lieutenant governor run, she actually did. And so she pretty much flip flopped on the issue. And plus, Winsome Sears, she's been closely aligned with the Glenn Youngkin campaign, and there's a lot of energy on her side. And plus, and plus, I think Winsome Sears has the upper hand. Like I said, once again, the polls are undercounting the Republican support, and basically, I think Winsome Sears, she might outperform Glenn Youngkin because I'm not sure who is. To be honest, I really don't know who's excited for this Democratic ticket. I mean, Terry McAuliffe, Hala Alaya. I mean, especially Terry McAuliffe. I mean, guy's an establishment shill, and all his campaign is just for connecting Glenn Youngkin to Trump, which is not doing any good. I mean, Trump and Glenn Youngkin are two different people. But the other thing is, now going back to the lieutenant governor's race, the other thing is what the other thing I want to bring up is if Winsome Sears becomes lieutenant governor, the chamber, which is the Virginia State Senate, flips to the Republican Party because she'll be the tiebreaker votes for a lot of the legislation. And if the Democratic Party underperforms on election night, that means the House of Delegates can flip to Republican controlled as well. So basically, you can see Republicans winning both, all three executive races, which is the governorship, lieutenant governorship, and attorney general, as well as because since Winsome Sears, if she wins the lieutenant governor's race, she will, the Virginia State Senate will flip towards the Republican Party, and if the Democratic Party, and since the Democratic Party is going to underperform, that means the House of Delegates will flip towards the Republicans. So basically, you're going to have a full Republican trifecta in that state. So yeah, so the only way to find out is to see what happens on election nights. But other than that, I'm predicting it right here that the Republicans are going to win the races across the board. They're going to win all three executive races, as well as reclaim the House of Delegates and also regain control of the state senates. So that's all I just want to bring up. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And going forward, I'll also provide some analysis as to basically how the Republicans won, as well as why the Democrats lost. And in addition, I'll be discussing races in 2022 as well. So I'll be giving my insights as well, and I'll try to be as nonpartisan as I can. In fact, I try to be as realist. I think we have. So I'd just like to thank all of you for tuning in, and I hope all of you stay safe and have a wonderful day. Thank you.